Jen here with my June layout for the Stretch Your Sketch series. This is a series where we are taking a sketch for a 12 by 12 layout, and some of us ladies are stretching it into a 2-page layout. Others are going to turn it into traveler's notebook layouts, and we're just really trying to see how far we can stretch these sketches. So I'm going to start with 2 pages that are exactly the same. These 2 pages came out of a paper pad that I put in my How to Kill a Kit with Style for June kit. I will link to that video so that you can check out the whole kit if you want to. But I really wanted to use 2 pieces of background paper or 2 pieces of cardstock that were exactly the same. And I don't usually buy the individual cardstock sheets. Unless I really, really love both sides. I usually only have one. So when I was playing with that kit and I realized that I do actually have a couple of the designs that are still 2 pages, I pulled them out. But they weren't quite the color that I wanted. I wanted a little bit more blue and white. So you can see there I played around with some mixed media and I basically just covered them all up. I started with gesso, and then when that was almost dry, I added some acrylic white paint, and that gives you a really good difference in opacity. So the gesso, even though it's white, it's still fairly translucent, and then the acrylic paint is a little bit more opaque. And then I wanted some blue in there, so while that paint was still tacky and still a little bit wet, I smushed the 2 different colors of blue mist on. That just kind of helped to soften it and mix it in with a little bit of the white, and it really gave a whole variety of blues. And then after all of that was dry, the next day I actually put even more gesso and acrylic paint over top because the blue was just too blue, and I kind of liked the white a little bit better. The blue in my pictures now stands out quite a bit more, and I find like the white background sort of mimics those wispy white clouds that you see. So now my take for this sketch is that I am going to put a grouping of layered papers in this top left-hand corner. I'm not following exactly the same layers that the sketch has, but I just was sort of taking from it the general idea of a whole bunch of paper layers. And I also am using 2 4x6 pictures instead of the 3 square pictures. So my layers are a little bit kind of longer and wider, but I'm just sort of keeping to that whole concept of layers. And I just pulled these out of the different paper packs that I have in my summer kit. This is just a whole kit filled with things that are summer-y, summer-inspired, water-inspired, boating, all that kind of stuff that I'm using for our trip from last year. So there's some Wild Whisper paper in there. There is some Amy Tangerine, Echo Park, Pink Paisley, lots of different things. And I'm just kind of building up these layers. Once I had an idea of the papers that I wanted to use, I decided that it would probably be easier for me to just focus on one side at a time. So I picked out all the papers, and now I'm just going to do this side, and then I'll move over to the other side and try my best to do something very similar. So I'm just going to pop up this top photo. That's of our whole family, and then this photo here is just my kiddos looking out at the ocean. You can see the island behind them that we were headed to. It's a bird sanctuary, so we were able to see puffins and a couple different species of seagulls and a few other marine birds. It was very cool, very noisy. The birds are super noisy. And puffins are amazing. They are like turkeys, just these like, I can't even describe it. They're so awkward when they fly. They're not very good flyers, but they're very cute. So here you can see on this second side, I'm going to take that cluster and I've moved it down to the bottom right hand side. So I've created a bit of a diagonal between the two pages. And I'm going to work as best I can to get the layers to look the same, but I'm not measuring, I'm not being precise. I totally screw up here because this piece of paper should actually, well, you can see how I have to tear that up. Everything should have been moved over just a little bit, but I'm just going to go with it. It's really not important that it's exactly the same as the top. I don't think anyone who's looking at my layout is going to be able to notice that they're not perfectly mirror image to each other. It was just more about having all of those layers in behind the photos, just like in the sketch. But I will pop up this bottom picture and the top picture will stay down. I picked that sunglasses paper because in these two pictures, I guess at some point my daughter must have given her brother her sunglasses, and so they're both wearing them. That wasn't intentional, that was just the way I took the pictures, but they both look super cute, so I thought that the sunglasses paper would look good. And I think there I was just showing you that my plan for my journaling was to put that in between the two pages, and that sort of bridges the two pages. So that is where I kind of put my own spin on the layout a little bit. And here now I'm just going through all of the sticker sheets and the fun little extras that I have in my kit. And I realized that I didn't intend for it to be such a monochromatic layout, so I really wanted a few pops of bright color, and it works because the life jackets that the kids are wearing are a bright red, and there's a lady, you can kind of see her coat just a little bit in one of the photos, and it's bright yellow, and the sunglasses are pink. So I just kind of went for it. I'm making up my own rules for this layout, and I'm going to pick the stuff that I like. I think this sticker says, "Let's go for a ride." And then there were a few little hearts on there. And I'm really just kind of pulling stuff off that catches my eye, and I'm sort of sticking it all there. It's not going to stick down to the mixed media, so I'm not too worried about anything being stuck permanently. I'm just pulling out all the stuff that I like. So I have those arrows because I thought they were nice pops of color, and the one sticker says cool. I think the other one says Yahoo or Woohoo, something like that. I have some of these chipboard from Freckled Fawn. Oh, I think one says fantastic, and the other one might say let's go. I was just looking for fun things like that. Off of this chipboard, I'm going to take those two clouds, because again, it was a cloudy day, and that was sort of my idea with the white in the background, was just picking up on the clouds. So I thought that some of those clouds would look really good. And now it's just about playing around a little bit and trying to figure out where all of this stuff should go. If you look back at the sketch, or I'll post it again at the end, you'll notice that there really isn't a lot of place for embellishment. So this is where it's totally open to interpretation, and you can just do whatever you want to do. And I'm learning to be very comfortable with just picking things that I really like and putting them on my layout and not worrying about all of those scrapbooking rules. I mean, I've always been a bit of a rule breaker. I'm not necessarily bound by them, but there are a few rules that I tend to stick to pretty closely, like groupings of threes and visual triangles, things like that. And with this layout, I just decided if I liked something, I was going to find a place to put it, and I didn't worry all that much about any of those rules. So I do sort of have, clusters that make visual triangles, and I do a lot of groups of threes, but in the end, it's just if something looked right, that's where it stayed. Here's where I'm putting down my journaling. So you can see I've made these strips, and basically I just have my little, I haven't said very much, but I just have it spanning across both pages, and that way I have a bit of a bridge between the two. And now I'm just going to stick everything down, make sure everything's stuck. That's the one thing that I always forget to do when I pull all this stuff off and I kind of place it around in places. There's inevitably something that I have forgotten to glue down, and when I pick up the layout, it falls. So everything's going down. And up at the top there, I cut an extra little square from that sheet from Summer Lights, this one here. I just felt like it needed an extra little pop of pink, and so they had these sunglasses, and they were really cute. So that's one more pop of pink and some of that holographic. The images are kind of holographic and cool. And I'm popping a few things up just for interest. It's a really busy layout, but it's still nice to kind of, play with your dimension and play with the layers, and then your eye really does want to travel around the page, and it will stop on certain things that kind of anchor your attention. So dark colors can anchor your attention, or things that are popped up or at, a different angle, stuff like that. Those all kind of grab your eye. So that's why I like to play with that kind of stuff. It helps your eye to just follow the story of the page. And then lastly here, I have some of these stars from Studio Calico, and it needed something dark, and I really wanted blue, so I just happened to have enough in the right sizes. So there's a small, medium, and large star to go with sort of in each of my little cluster areas, and I'll do that on both sides, and they mirror each other. And so that really helps with the congruency between one page and the other. And I also pull out these stickers from Freckled Fawn because they're sparkly, and I thought they would be fun too. I like the white stars, and I thought it might be nice just to have some sort of solid white embellishments there. So I find a few places to put them. I have to shift them around a little bit because Freckled Fawn did not do odd numbers. So there were only 2 of the smaller stars, or I think, no, there were 4 of the smallest size stars, and then the rest were large, and so I had to figure out how to balance it right. I tell you, as I just literally told you, I was ignoring all of the rules. But there are some things everybody does, right? And I have to have that right balance. So I just shifted them around in a few different places, and I sort of just went with, if it was a big cluster, then it could handle a bigger star. If it was a small cluster, it needed a smaller star. And then just to kind of go along with the sketch, it looks like maybe it has a bit of a background or like a little border around the edge. So I decided mine definitely needed some weight on that edge too. So I took those 4 different colors of blue markers, and I just did doodly borders around the whole thing, and I also outlined all of the papers and even the pictures. So I think that really helps to make everything pop, and in the end, I think this layout turned out great. It was a lot of fun to do. I added some sprinkles too, so some more of that dark blue. So all of the ladies who are part of this series are down below. Please go check them out and show them some love. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.